You told some of those who interviewed you at CPAC that Bill Owens had broken 3 campaign promises immediately upon taking office. What were those promises, and how were they broken?
Well, immediately after being sworn in, Bill Owens voted in favor of the health care bill in Congress. The health care bill that he voted for included higher taxes on the middle class and the small business, and it also included reductions in Medicare. And those were 3 campaign promises that Bill Owens made that he broke within 24 hours of being sworn in.
Okay, so the 3 promises were higher taxes on the middle class, higher taxes on small business, and reductions in Medicare?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes. And all those were included in the new health care bill.
I just wanted to ask you, the Congressional Budget Office is saying that the value of the additional benefits given under Medicare Advantage would amount to about $85 more per senior per month in 2019. So they're actually saying that for the majority of people, Medicare benefits would actually go up with the House bill. So I was wondering if you had different information or you disagree with their assessment.
Well, I'd have to read what you're reading. They're saying it would go up. Well, just with inflation, it would go up over 10 years. So what about net of inflation? Is the numbers that you're citing net of inflation or just gross numbers?
I actually don't know.
Well, I think that's what you have to look into.
Okay. They're also saying that in terms of the middle class families of 4 making $90,000 or less will benefit from premium caps. This is again from the Congressional Budget Office. And families making $78,000 or less would receive benefits from both the premium caps in the legislation and from subsidies. So both offered on a sliding scale, significant subsidies for families making less. So it sounds like the middle class, according to the Congressional Budget Office, is actually benefiting from this.
Well, if you consider $90,000 to be middle class, with about $91,000 and $95,000, the average person with 2 wage earners can easily make $30,000 to $50,000 each, and so if it's under $90,000, then are we saying that people from $90,000 to $100,000 with 2 wage earners is not middle class? I think it is.
Okay.
And certainly Obama said that the middle class went up to $250,000, which we all know here in the 23rd District, there aren't very many people, even 2 wage earners together, making $250,000.
Unless you're a reporter of the Watertown.
Oh, that's right.
Switching gears on you here a little bit, the possibility exists that this race will be among the 3 candidates again. So I wanted to know if you're willing to run against 2 candidates again.
Am I willing to run against 2 candidates?
Yeah, I mean, in the last special election, you ran against 2 candidates, Bill Owens and Dee Dee Skozafava. Are you willing to run in a 3-way race again?
I think that's a hypothetical question. We have to see what develops here. Certainly, if Dee Dee Skozafava got into the race again, I'd run a 3-way race.
You think you could prevail in a 3-way race?
I think that's a hypothetical question again. I think if you look at last year, I got 70,000 votes on the conservative line. But I think it's a hypothetical question. It all depends on whether Dee Dee runs again or not.
It also depends who the candidates are, what lines people are on. There's so many variables there.
The answer to that question, Jude, is I'm going to work very hard to reunite the Republican Party, the Conservative Party, and the Independence Party in this campaign. And I think that by successfully doing that, we're going to defeat Bill Owens. And so I'm going to expend my energy as a lifelong Republican to earn the Republican nomination. And I'm going to try to seek the independence line.
Only you. I'm not going to let anybody else.
I already have the conservative line promised to me. But I don't think that a successful candidate needs all 3 lines to beat Bill Owens.
One of the problems with the compressed campaign last year was that there wasn't an opportunity for there to be a 3-way debate among all the candidates in front of a live audience. I certainly did the one in the studio, but there wasn't a chance for people in the 23rd Congressional District to ask questions of the person who wanted them to vote for him. So I was wondering.
That isn't true, Jude. There was a debate in Plattsburgh that Bill Owens didn't show up to.
Well, there was a debate in Plattsburgh you didn't show up to.
Right,
so.
but there was an opportunity, so the opportunity was there.
Okay.
So,
well, putting that aside, I was wondering if you would agree right now to engage in at least one debate with your Republican opponents before the September primary. Can we make that guarantee to the public?
I think it depends on the forum, but certainly if it was done in a reasonable manner, I would welcome that type of debate.
What do you consider a reasonable manner?
Well, certainly we would have to have it done with a independent moderator. I think that if we had that, I would be very glad to engage in that.
I'm sorry.
And you know, I want to make it clear, I didn't refuse to go to that debate. I had another commitment. That debate was changed time-wise, date-wise, but I already had a commitment to do a pro-life computerized live chat that night. And there was thousands of people on that line that night that I had a commitment to be there and to moderate that live chat. And that was a question and answer session with pro-life people, and it was very important in my campaign to keep that commitment.
This is my first time getting to talk to you since November, so I've got one residual question from the end of the last campaign. You had put out a letter that said that had suggested that ACORN, the unions, and the Democratic Party tampered with the voting machines during the last election. Is that something you still believe?
Well, first of all, I think we made that clear to you. I didn't put out that letter. I had a surgery at the time that letter was put out, and that letter was never passed by me, and I would have never approved it.
Oh, okay. So who put it out? I'm sorry.
I have no idea. It was somebody on my staff that did that. It was, like I said, I was involved in surgery. I wasn't even able to read. I had major eye surgery, and that letter should have never gone out. I did not authorize it, and I did not agree with it.
Okay. Did you believe there was a virus in the machines that people used to cast their ballot? That was a separate letter.
I think that's been confirmed by the voting, by the commissioners, that there was a problem with the programming. I don't agree there was a virus. I think there was a programming error.
You think it cost you votes?
I think that the commissioners, the commissioners of elections did a great job in recounting, and I agree with the final results.
That's all I got. Thanks very much for your
Okay.
time, Doug. I appreciate it.